My name is Milana Glukharev-Fleszar, and I partnered with UNH Cooperative Extension. I found myself about an hour and a half from here in Franklin, New Hampshire. Beautiful city, I must say. So, the Three Rivers City. Franklin is situated at the junction of two rivers that meet to make the Merrimack River. Franklin was created from portions of Salisbury, Andover, Sanborn, and Northfield, and was named in honor of Benjamin Franklin, the great Benjamin Franklin. Now, it's located in the county of Merrimack, and the population is only actually 8,500, but it's a great sense of community in Franklin. Franklin for a lifetime. So the mission of the project was to help revitalize the downtown with all of the community members involved. Franklin is a post-industrial mill town, and it is in physical decline, and there's a host of social challenges, and we were trying to bring the community together and show them that they have the same goal. So project background a little bit. The population of Franklin is getting older, and New Hampshire is one of the fastest aging states in the US. And just a little thing I have for the older community, there are valuable resources, and what benefits seniors benefits all members of the community. So what were the projections? So the projections were to engage the public in dialogue and action about revitalizing downtown and making it accessible to seniors and people of all ages and abilities, to create strong, motivated local leadership body and lots of potential that is existent in the downtown and the cultural, historic, and assets that they could leverage. And additionally, to help them move forward towards making positive change to build the capacity of community and institutional leaders. So now a little background that I was able to get from the UNH Cooperative Extension was the tapestry segmentation, which kind of broke down exactly what kind of neighborhoods are in Franklin, and it gave great background information. And then also I looked at the retail marketplace just to see the demand, the supply, and the different industries of Franklin. Just a little additional graph. Now, Franklin rent data. Rents have gone up similar to the state average, and the recession did slow the growth, and you can see that there is a vacancy rate existent. Now, going back to, you're probably thinking, so why Franklin still? What's with the aging population? What's going on? And I try to start at a bigger picture, looking at United States, and you can see on the left graph, population age 65 and over for the United States projected from 2012 to 2050, and you just see the growth. They're not going anywhere, they're just increasing. And we soon will be part of that population. Now the figure on the right, population, relative growth, and ratio of older population to working age, you also notice that as people are getting older, they're not retiring sooner. It's in the news, it's in literature. So it's very valuable to consider the aging population. Now, going more local, more New England, I looked at two different graphs. The one on the left is from showing change in the median age for county populations. And the way that map is working is from the brown to going into light green and dark green. It's basically showing the counties with increasing aging population. So you can actually see. Is there a pointer here? Yeah. Oh, middle. Oh, sir, minor.
Bottom middle.
Bottom middle. There you go. All right. So in New Hampshire, you can see is growing in its age. And then the graph below is showing shifting age profile. And again, you can see that there's an increasing change in the 65 plus population. Now, finally, coming back to the wonderful Franklin, New Hampshire, the same statistics remains there. The age category with the largest estimated increase was 45 to 64, and the age category with the largest estimated decrease was under 18. So not to only highlight on the aging population, but the project was looking to include all ages of the community and to see how to bring back actually the millennials back into the community after they get their education, how to make them want to grow in their community, start their family, buy their home in Franklin. So what happened? Now, UNH Cooperative Extension plus a steering committee that was formed in the city engaged 119 community members. This happened through children's artwork projects, storytelling groups, one-on-one interviews, business focus groups, and the elder rep focus group. You can see on the right these lovely community members. This is a storytelling group, and they highlighted things that they were looking to change or do in downtown Franklin. This actually was posted, which was a really great technique. It's a light bulb, and there were huge posters that were posted around Franklin where there's high traffic of people. So in the hospital, in the city council, town council office, the library, school. Now, the April 9th to 11th workshops was a huge project and a great success. And there, we brought several community members together to discuss how to support aging community and others who wish to stay in Franklin as they get older, and how to stimulate business and economic opportunities, and also how to encourage millennials and other young people and families to live, work, and stay in Franklin. Now, as a result, there were many themes that developed and came up, and one of the really wonderful things is you felt a sense of a community from all those workshops and different focus groups. You notice that there's an importance for civic life, economic vitality, transportation, housing, infrastructure. There's an abundance of natural resources in Franklin, and also cultural resources, as additionally historic sites, and they have a strong community health services and school programs. Now, from that, there are city council and steering committee meetings that are still occurring now. They will actually have a steering committee meeting next week to kind of discuss these action committees that have been formed for different topics to kind of bring the community members from those workshops and anybody else that's interested to start doing something, to start achieving those goals that we set out. Now, I have to plug in and mention Plan New Hampshire was a partner that worked during those workshops with UNH Cooperative Extension and I. And what they did was, first of all, there was a group of professionals, architects, planners, engineers, zoning specialists, and in a matter of hours, you know, they did this beautiful work of just how to, now so I don't butcher it, potential for developed river work, so for fishing, for walking, for running, hiking, there's quite a bit of potential. And then they just also did a few plans of how they could change the downtown too. Now, what I did as a result is I created a process analysis. And this just kind of evaluate and put everything together that happened in Franklin. And some of the things were description of the background and purpose, steps taken by the steering committee, a synthesis of the components that went into the workshops. Additionally, the decision process, a summary of potential solutions going forward. And I also looked at different development projects occurring around New England in particular, a little bit out of states, but the ones that in the next two slides that I mentioned was a traditional neighborhood development case study that's occurring in Northampton State Hospital site and just Northampton, Massachusetts. Just in general, what they're doing is using existing infrastructure, encouraging class or preserve, reuse, restructures of historical or architectural significance, which is very important for Franklin. So it's something as a suggestion I'm making to look in the future for Franklin. Now, reflections, what have I learned? Community planning takes time. I learned patience is a virtue, especially in community planning, and follow through. Additionally, marketing, promoting community change. That is something I think often gets lost in community planning, marketing, how to spread the word. I can't emphasize enough to go out there, to talk to city officials, to talk to community leaders, to post on bulletin boards, go to the hospital, speak to anybody you can speak to, do it. And that kind of follows up with the next point, you can't do it by yourself. I did quite a few projects where I tried to take on all the work by myself, and then I found UNH Cooperative Extension, wonderful people, Charlie French, I worked with him, and it's important to find the resources. And then understanding and affecting community context, just again going into the background. And then I left this last almost controversial point just to finish up, is understanding and addressing opposition and resistance. Community organization can't always be separated from politics or controversy. I faced that in Franklin. I was surprised to find it, but I think in any community you will find controversy and people not getting along, and in particular in Franklin, we had building owners, landlords. They didn't have the greatest relationship with the city officials, and even facilitating workshops with them, you have to watch out so they don't take over the discussion. They don't sway the citizens one way or the other. So it's a very interesting and awesome process. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.